Okay, we're back with a new video here in our series about our trip to the World Time Attack Challenge in Australia 2025. This video will be a little bit about the planning and development that we go through when we decide which parts we're going to put on the car and then test them, and also the challenges we have by trying to do this from the Philippines. Because there's a lot of parts, or mainly almost all parts are not available here in the Philippines, so we're having to order them. We've ordered parts from Australia, from New Zealand, from the UK, from Czechoslovakia, from the States, from Japan, from Thailand. So we are gathering all the parts here and then putting it on the car. We're also going to have a look at what we are doing at the moment with the shell from my car, the GVF, and then what we're doing on the development car, where we're developing the powertrain and how that's going. Since last video we went to test our stage 3 upgrades, and when I say stage 3 I mean we're doing one set of upgrades to the car, then we do the next set of upgrades, that's stage 2, then we do the next set of upgrades. It's not like you would normally consider a stage 3, for example, for a camshaft or something like that. So we just call it different steps along the way. We call it stages. So we're at the moment implementing stage 4 on the car, and that includes a lot of things to make the car handle better, because we found out we have the power but we can't put it down at the moment. Suspension was too soft, the car was too narrow, there was a lot of other things we needed to improve on, and then we need to upgrade the internal of the test car, because the normal seats with the normal seat belt in the car is just not possible now. When with the speeds we are carrying and when we are braking, I'm just simply moving forward in the seat and have to push myself back after each time we've been braking. But we managed to set a new lap record. We actually improved our old lap record with a full 3.38 seconds, which is a tremendous amount. So we were very happy with the result. But obviously there's things that can be improved on. We had some electrical gremlins, so we had a throttle positioning sensor issue, and we had some other minor things, but cooling wise, the upgrades we did for stage 3 helped a lot. We ran between 10 and 15 degrees cooler than before, but we're still trying to find a little bit improvements on that. And in that respect, we have a new white body kit, and we have new oil coolers, which is going to help to keep the engine temperatures, the oil temperatures in the engine, and the power steering oil temperatures down. And that's about it in terms of what we are planning to do in the car. I can tell you we've had to order parts, tires from the US, because the tire size we need is not available here in the Philippines at the moment, and we have to wait up to 3 months for them to arrive, which we obviously cannot do as part of our development. And the same for the wheels. The wheels were not available neither here nor in Thailand or Indonesia or even Malaysia when we contacted them. So we ended up getting them from Australia, and they're being shipped with DHL here now. So we're going to have some 18 by 10.5 with an offset of plus 14 on the car. We'll have 20 mil spacers on the front and 15 mil spacers at the back, and then we will have some 295 30 18 tires on the car. And then the suspension upgrades we're doing is going to probably be a huge difference. The one-way suspension from Olin that we have in road and track, I think it's called, they have springs rates of 7 and 9 kilos. The new one is a full race suspension from Motion Control Suspension, MCS, in the US, which Wyatt from MCS has helped us to calculate and design. So we have 14 kilo springs on them, so that should give us a lot more adjustment possibilities and a lot better handling in the car. But again, that's parts we've had to order from the US. So just to give you an idea, some of the chassis suspension parts we've ordered from Race Fab in New Zealand. Rob has been very helpful with that. He's the owner and fabricator at Race Fab. We've had some parts ordered from Sydney Composite, and Greg from Sydney Composite has been very helpful in organizing this, and he has a whole new aero kit and upgrade planned for later this year, which he's working on, and our car will be one of the first ones that will have that fitted when we get to that stage. We've also negotiated a good agreement with AMSOIL, and that's here in the Philippines. They're supporting the car with all the lubricants that we need, and Nankang here has been extremely helpful getting us the tires, but in this particular case, although that they're doing everything they can to get it here, we can't get the tires on time because they're simply not available from Taiwan and here in the Philippines. So we've had to find a place in the US that has tires, and they're being shipped over here with DHL or UPS, I think. So a lot of people have asked questions here from the Philippines, what problems occur and how do we manage to deal with them when we order the parts, because there's some rules that, for example, if you order a shipment and the value is more than $1,000 US, then you need to have some special permits from the customs to import it as a private person if it's not imported as a company. And we've faced that on almost every shipment we've had, and the only thing to do, we found, is listen to what they say, write the letters that we are requested to write, and then pay the duties that they say we have to pay, and then everything seems to go rather smoothly. Every time you try to go against the system, you will end up most of the time with headaches and problems. So instead of fighting the system, just go with the flow and make it work, and that seems to be working for us. We've also had a lot of assistance from Demon Tweaks in the UK, who have been very helpful and organized special shipments to the Philippines for us that we have then cleared with DHL and UPS, whoever carrier that they have used. So moving forward, we're still operating on two fronts. We are doing a full seam weld at the moment, which you will see in the video of the GVF from 2012, which is the final race car that we are going to use all the parts on. And while that's being done, we're working on the VA, which is the car that belongs to Marble, but we basically put almost all the parts that has arrived on that, at least the ones that fit between the two models. And then we are testing everything. We've been on the track, as I said earlier, 3 times now, and each time we've set a new lap record. First was a 1:49.494, the second one was a 1:47.19, and the last one was a 1:43.50. So each time we've improved between 2 and 3 seconds, and we're now at a stage where unless we improve the suspension, we just can't push more out of it. So that's why we have the suspension going on the car now and all the other parts. We also have the 6-speed sequential gearbox on the way with paddle shift. The paddle shift arrived already, but the sequential gearbox is on the way. So we're expecting another improvement, significant improvement, when we're able to do flat shifting using the paddle shifts. We have a Motec unit on the way where we can control the health of the engine, and we can control the ignition cuts and the flat shift. So instead of having a clutch where you have to H pattern shift every time, you can now just keep the accelerator to the floor and then shift as you can in any other paddle shift car, race car, like a Porsche or anything like that. So that should give us a big improvement. If you guys have any additional questions to stuff you want to know, please write a comment. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see these videos and a lot of other onboard videos from our test days, and we will also do some fun passenger rides where we take passengers out in the car. The expressions is at times quite fun when you put them in a car with over 600 wheel horsepower. So our YouTube channel is called the TR Racing Team. So have a look at it, look for it, subscribe to it, click the bell icon so you get information and notifications every time we have a new video. Well, let's get the video started, and I'll show you from Rolly how he's getting on with the GVF, and I'll show you from Meg Automotive how they're getting on with the new body kit fittings on the car. They also have a new CSF motorsport type radiator that's being fitted, and some of the aero ducting, and it's going to be adjusted to fit the bigger C-trap oil coolers going on the car. But you can see more. Thanks for following us, and thanks for supporting us. And like I say, anything you want to know, let us give us a comment, and we'll try and respond to it. Thank you for now. Okay, so we are back at Full Setup Racing Motorsports with Rolly. We're going to have a look at the chassis and see how he's getting on with the seam welding and all the other work that he's doing, the roll cage and installing the air jacks and putting in the safety fuel tank. Okay, is Rolly here? Okay, so he's done quite a lot of seam welding now. Oh, hi Rolly.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Very good.
So I can see you're progressing well with the car.
Yeah. As you can see, almost finished. We have at 70%.
Yeah.
And next week, give me more like Thursdays to finish all the seam welding.
Okay, so once you finish with the seam welding, you're gonna do the roll cage?
Yeah,
or?
the roll cage. Yeah. We'll go to installing the roll cage.
Okay. So these are the seams we were talking about, long seams.
This is a TIG welding machine, and this is a TIG welding machine.
Yeah.
And this one is a MIG. This is the old school style.
Okay, so this is old school MIG welding, and this is TIG welding.
MIG welding.
This is MIG or TIG?
MIG. TIG. Sorry.
TIG welding. Okay.
TIG welding.
Yeah. Looks nice. Almost stepped on your dog here.
Yeah.
So.
This is our best friend.
Yeah.
Paro G.
Your partner in crime.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds good. I'm gonna come and have a look at the car next week when the seam welding is done.
Okay.
And then have a look at what your plan is with the roll cage. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, it's late at night. It's almost 11 o'clock now. We arrived at Meg Automotive. We're going to have a look at the car and see what they're doing to the car, and then talk a little bit with Marble about what's happening the next few days. So you can see there's Subaru, 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 Subaru. Another Subaru, the GTR. There's Marble. Hi Marble.
Oh, hey.
Hey. So just come by to have a look at the car, see what you're doing. I saw that you already fitted the new Wyatt wide body kit.
Yeah, we finished fitting all the FRP parts. We cut up the fenders, front and rear.
Mm-hmm.
We fitted everything, and now we're wrapping it. So I'll show you that later.
So they're a lot wider than before, huh?
Yeah. It's like,
wow.
I don't know how many this is, but it's wide. Also, I clocked it up already, so I installed the Roger Clark water pump.
Yeah.
And took out the radiator. Actually, it's here. The radiator. Here it is.
Wow. Okay.
So
he finished it already?
yeah. So
That's a ginormous one.
The previous
Very big.
radiator was a single row. It's
Yeah.
3 row, I think.
Okay.
Or 2 row.
Two row, I think.
row.
Right? Yeah.
The 2 row CSF.
But that's a full motorsport version.
The reason why we had to edit this is because the stock location of this hose is right here, going here.
Yeah.
But because we have the air vent here, the outlet, we can't have any hoses here.
Okay.
So I have to move this and this here so that it can go like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna make a seal pathway so air goes in and only out.
Okay, so same like we had before, but just slightly different because the bigger radiator. Okay. So
Also, I fitted the canard. So we have, before we had 4. We
Yeah.
had 2. Now we're gonna have 4.
yeah.
So we're gonna sit like this. There you go.
Yeah.
So one on each side and another one here.
Okay, so there'll be 2 on each side now.
Yes.
Yeah. And that will help with the downforce. And then you said that you've done something special to the back of the canards, right?
Yeah. I put a gurney here.
So you
This will be-
same like on the wing, you put a gurney at the back. Yeah.
This will be molded into carbon fiber.
Okay.
So we're not gonna use this in the race. We're gonna use a carbon fiber one.
Okay.
We have enough time this time to do it. Also, the wheels, just to be able to race, we ordered wheels from. We cannot find a set here. There's no set in the US, but we found a set in Australia.
Yeah.
So we're shipping them. We shipped them out 2 days ago, I think,
Yeah.
and should be here next week.
Okay. What size are they?
They are ZE40s, just like
The CE40s, yeah.
previous ones, but
Yeah.
these ones are 18 by 10.5,
Okay.
offset 15, I think, or 14.
Yeah.
So we're gonna run 2, 9, 5, 30 tires.
Okay.
And the tires,
And then you're gonna run the spacers also, right?
spacer will be
So
there. 20 mm on the front and 50 on the rear.
okay, I'm looking to see if I can find some 30 mm so we have a choice we can test with.
Okay.
So engine, have you done anything to the engine?
The engine didn't touch. Well, I did. Just to be sure, I replaced the engine harness with a brand new one. The alternator, a brand new one. I did a big 3 upgrade on the grounding, and the
What's a big tree upgrade?
big 3 upgrade is where you upgrade the grounding lines and the
So you
power
use bigger,
line.
thicker ones or what?
Yeah, better
Okay.
wires.
Okay.
I'm gonna use gauge 4 wires.
Okay.
Usually the audio cables are the ones we use for it.
Yeah.
So I have those. Power wise, not changing anything because I think we could squeeze out a little more from the last, but we just didn't have enough suspension and
Yeah.
of course that. So,
Okay, so you got the suspension here now.
Yeah.
There's a 4-way suspension from motion control suspension, MCS. In the those springs are big, are they 14 kilos or something? That's a big difference. We had 7 kilos and 9 kilos on the car before, so now
Yeah.
we're going up to 14.
Just you sitting on the car bottoms the spring.
So what are they doing over here?
The wrapping. We don't have time to paint, so I just wrap the car.
Okay.
So all the new panels are gonna be in chrome blue,
Yeah.
just like before, and we have some parts wrapped. Tapos nga ako ng isang...
Ayun sa playlist sana. Jay.
Okay. So they're wrapping the body panels now.
Yes.
Where is that done?
So okay, I see. You installed them here
Yeah.
and then fitted them,
Yep.
and then after the fitted, you took them off and then wrapped them.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So
Why is there a hole here? Is that when you open it? or
yeah,
what?
because if you don't do that, it will hit this part.
Okay. Okay, but when we finish my white car, we're not gonna have a hole there because we're gonna have a dry brake coupling up here
Yes, correct.
for the fuel tank. Okay.
Also, you owe me a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is point of no return for my car. So we use two bolts.
So you use
we put them in, so we have threaded things for the bolt.
yeah.
So everything is removable.
Okay. Nice. The bigger wing, I tried to get the dual element wing from APR, but we couldn't get that in time. So we got a Cybon wing in the meantime, which is 20 centimeters wider than the old one. When we get a gurney on that, that should also help us a little bit. But you guys are working very fast.
Yeah, I adjusted the shop hours so that we can be more efficient.
Yeah.
Instead of working from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., now we work 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay. Because it's cooler. Or?
It's cooler.
Yeah. Well, the oil cooler, that's the new
Yeah.
C-Trap oil cooler, right?
It's the new oil cooler.
Yeah.
I think double the size.
Okay.
I'm gonna be fitting it here. I'm fitting it right here.
Okay.
Inside of this, sideways. And then make a custom inlet.
So you're making custom ducting to control
custom
the
ducting in and out of
Yeah.
because there are holes here. So
Yeah.
air will come out here
Okay.
from the
So you make ducting both before the oil cooler and after the oil cooler to control the air?
so that the flow doesn't go into the engine.
Okay.
Just that's hot air going into the engine.
Yeah. Okay. And
Goes here. The air from the grill goes into this.
okay. So at the moment the car is making 660 wheel horsepower, right?
Yes, correct.
So when we retune it, maybe 660 or 670 or 680, but somewhere around
probably
there.
the same.
Yeah. Okay.
But this time when we retune, I want to fine tune the part throttle.
Okay.
Part throttle response because we had some issues there. Well, not issues, but it was a bit rough. So I wanted to make it smooth on the dyno.
Okay. So just to confirm, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I understood from you last time is that the Garrett G3900 Turbo, which is on there now, is capable of making almost 100 horsepower more than what we're making at the moment. But because
Not 100 horsepower.
okay,
So already maybe
60, 70,
30 to 40 more.
30 to 40 more.
If
Okay.
we bump up the torque because
Yeah.
the torque,
The torque is
Flat
only 518,
yeah,
right?
it's what I think is safe for the transmission and the clutch we have now.
Okay. But what can you bump the torque up to? 600 or 620? Or?
If we change the transmission, I can bump it up to 620, 600, and probably squeeze close to 700 wheel horsepower on this.
Okay. So the idea is now this is our fourth modification.
Yes.
The reason why I'm saying it like this is some of the posts we've made where we call it stage 4, some people have misunderstood it and are thinking of it in terms of different stages of the power level, where basically we call it stage 1, stage 2, depending on the modifications we're doing to the car. So eventually it might be stage 10 or stage 15 or stage 20 or something like that. So, but when we're going to the bigger circuit at Clark, you say you're going to change the turbo?
Yeah. I plan on changing it to a G35 1050. By the time we should have with us the transmission and the Motec ECU.
Yeah.
So we're gonna add probably 150 to 200 more wheel horsepower.
Yeah. Okay. That'd be good. They're putting the film on the skirt now.
Yeah.
So they're basically working whole night?
Yeah, they prefer working at night.
Because it's cooler? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
So all these panels will probably be done by tonight.
By tonight. Okay. Okay.
Or I can finish up all the
Yeah, I'm gonna come back.
the carbon parts will look like this.
Okay. Nice. So this is what it'll look like with the carbon parts.
Yeah. We don't
Okay.
have those yet because it's still in production.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll come back on Saturday and then have a look when you install the motion control suspension on the car.
Yes. I'll probably have this on the lift by
Okay.
tomorrow evening or Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
All right.
Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.